We're delighted to be with you. I want to jump right in. You know why we're here. We're here to talk about this incredible new movie, Paul, which is coming this Palm Sunday everywhere. I know many of you are joining us live via streaming video, and we have your questions we want to get to, but I want to start. I'm going to ask the panel. I'll work my way down. Why this story of St. Paul, and why now? Jim, you were offered, I know after the Passion, to play apostles, saints, a few villains, Jesus again. Why this role? Why Luke, and why did it take you so long to come back to a biblical epic?
That's a long question.
Just one at a time.
I was looking at, when I looked at The Passion, it was a great script. Mel Gibson had come off the Braveheart, and he's quite remarkable director, and so I didn't know how to turn that one down. This one, a great script, and a lot of them. It didn't. This one was amazing because it didn't beat you over the head. A lot of the dialogue that was used by Andrew Hyatt was cleverly put in there. I knew, when the film was about done, there was a guy that I brought in to watch it, and he doesn't know God or any religion at all. I just wanted to hear what he would say, and he said that was a great film, and he says, but the writer's he's a genius. I said, why do you say that? He said, well, he's like a philosopher. I said, well, what were the lines? Well, to live is Christ, to die is gain. That's a very interesting concept. And I said, well, that's in the Bible. Oh, it is. Oh. So a couple days later, he calls me up and he says, I might want to see your Passion of the Christ. And I said, oh, okay, here, I'll go get you a copy. Hey, well, hold on a second. I said I might want to see the Passion of the Christ. But at least it planted a seed, and it had the effect that we were looking for.
Yeah. Eric, why St. Paul and this moment of his life? St. Paul, this could have been an Indiana Jones movie. I mean, the guy's shipwrecked, he's beaten, he's arrested, he's beaten, he's clubbed, he's arrested. I mean, there's a lot of drama that happens with St. Paul. Why this part, the latter part of the life, when he's imprisoned? It's kind of confined sainthood at the end. Why did you all choose that part of the story?
Yeah, I know when you try to decide how do you tell Paul's story, you really would need to make a multi-episode mini-series almost out of it. So where do we land? And it was an exciting thing. It's an exciting thing for us to kind of reflect on someone's life, especially these amazing saints of the past, from the end of their life. And you look at the amazing conversion experience that he went through. From being Saul, the greatest persecutor of the early church, to the Lord saying, you're mine, this is me who you're persecuting. And turning, his heart converted into the greatest promulgator of the faith. And yet to look at that from the end of his life, where he's gone through that conversion and all of those experiences where he's gained wisdom, and yet we can still see a man who's very human, who knows he's saved by the grace of God, and yet he still has those struggles with his humanity. And that's, I think, an important thing for us to be able to reflect on and say, hey, he's a lot like I am.
Yeah. Dr. Hahn, before I go to a clip, because I realize you all haven't seen this movie yet. We're not going to show it to you tonight. We're going to show you a trailer, but hold on. Dr. Hahn, the importance of St. Paul today and his relevance today would be what?
For the last 2,000 years, no other writer has had the influence of St. Paul. When you look at the New Testament, he wrote 13 out of the 27 books. He was Luke's mentor. Luke was Paul's companion. For this movie to show the two of them sharing one heart, one life, it's significant. Luke only wrote 2 books of the New Testament. The Gospel of Luke, which is the single longest book of the New Testament, and in second place is the book of Acts. And so he only wrote 2, but he actually ends up giving us more words per word count than Paul. The two of them together, over half of the New Testament. For 2,000 years, people have been poring over this, but for the last 10 years, especially Catholics, because 10 years ago this year, Pope Benedict XVI called for the year of St. Paul. And so we spent a whole year focusing on his writing, sort of rediscovering his genius, but also his heart.
Yeah. Well, we're going to show you a clip of this, a little glimpse